All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, their great most on who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the men of the Lord, prophesying, preaching, and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom, Barakatham. I'm going to speak a little bit about this in the context of 2022, man. 2022 is going to be a heavy year, you know. You can just feel it, the way everything is moving, the direction that everything is heading in, the pace that everything is going in, even all the mirth that's come back, you know, it's just got this hollow ring to it, you know. Even when people are out having a good time, it's just empty, and this place has always been vain, you know, but the vanity, it's like, it's loud as hell now, or the Lord is giving us the spirit to at least see it better, because this place is completely through, man. I'm gonna play some of this video, and I'm gonna try not to you know, allow words on here that, you know, YouTube is not cool with, because, you know, channels are you know, they're on their last leg, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Jake gotta be, you know, circumspect on how he does particular things. So I'll play some of this video. We'll get a few precepts about the wicked and what this guy is planning, and how we know this is basically isn't coming back, because this is prophecy. Like 2022, man, there's no going back from here. All right, the way things are progressing, it's not gonna get reversed, and all of a sudden Esau is gonna care about your freedoms and this and that. You've given this devil more and more rope to hang yourself. All right, over and over and over again. Y'all legitimize these guys. Y'all go to voting booths. Y'all get on social media and praise these people, or you just turn a blind eye to wickedness, you know. And so what's gonna happen? That wickedness is gonna consume you, man. All right. So let's play a little bit of this.
The Great Reset. According to the New York Times, a baseless conspiracy theory. That proclamation was made after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said this.
This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. This is our chance to accelerate our pre-pandemic efforts to reimagine economic systems that actually address global challenges like extreme poverty, inequality, and climate change.
And on the very same day that the World Economic...
You see that? You saw that? So this is it's dressed up to help you. All right? It's dressed up as a way to I'm gonna play that again, man.
Day that the World Economic Forum set.
Inequality, inequality, global challenge. Reimagine economic systems that actually address global challenges like extreme poverty, inequality, and climate change.
So reimagine economic systems. Now, what does that mean? What does reimagining what does reimagining the economic system mean? All right. I'll give you a hint. Part of it's in Revelation 13. All right. We all know where this is heading, you know, and the fact that we have to speak, you know, in code and sparsely on YouTube is very much proof of that very same thing. But let's read what the scriptures say, how this guy would come. He's proposing things that's gonna help. He's talking about eliminating poverty, and that sounds great, doesn't it? Eliminating poverty. It says Psalm 55:21. It says, though the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. All right, because this guy wants to go to war with China, with Russia. He wants to basically conquer everybody. And once he does that, man, get ready. The nations that you live in, this comfort that you're living in, he's gonna completely lock you people down, man. It says, but war was in his heart, his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So while all of this is going on, while the metaverse is happening and it's in full swing, it's revving up, what's going on globally? All right, he's putting more pressure on Russia and Ukraine. He's building these I'll just call them areas of concentration, you know, all over. You know, he's built up a bunch of cities to house basically the global population. So all the population of America can basically dwell in cities. There's enough cities in America to do that. You know, if every city was like the size of held the same amount of people as like New York, you know, then he could bring in everybody from all these rural areas. And that's ultimately what he wants, man. He wants you to lock down, just like he did Jake. He ran an experiment on us. Inner cities. That's a tactic that he employed on us. He kept us in the inner cities. We couldn't grow our own food. We had to be subject to all of his poisons. In the supermarkets, all you had was gas stations and bodegas and shit. You know, you had to go to Elam and Moab, all right, selling you bullshit to work in these service class jobs, you know, working in hotels, working in kitchens, serving Esau, right, while he owned the property in the outer part. That's what this guy wants, man. He wants everybody in these cities because he can lock you down. He can cut off bridges. The scriptures say this part of this is gonna happen, man. I believe it's 2 Ezra 15. Yeah, second Ezra 15 and 17. I started at 16. Actually, I started at 15. It says, "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power." Because in that day, if you're not with the reset, guess what's going to happen, man? You're going to be on the outside, and guess what you're going to need to participate, you know, in this thing. Just guess. It says, "And the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." Why? Because these cities are going to be set up, these smart cities. That's part of, when you read all their plan, man, of this whole reset bullshit. That's their plan. They want everybody locked in basically into these cubes. And metaverses, they're just going to be the ultimate form of bread and circus. They're literally going to make it so inviting. Like if you watch that new Matrix game, that shit looked no different than real life. It was so realistic. The new Unreal Engine 5, they're going to create a world where the bread and circus is going to be so perfected, you're going to be completely distracted. When you watch that movie Ready Player One, it basically shows you that, you know, you're gonna basically spend most of your time in there. All right, they're gonna give you the bare minimum food and nutrients to keep you alive. You know, while they run the rest of the earth into the ground. So that's what these guys are looking for, man.
Very same day that the World Economic Forum celebrated the Great Reset as a way to build future resilience to global risks, and the day before, John Kerry said the Great Reset was needed to stop the rise of populism. So if you suggest the Great Reset is a bad thing, it's a conspiracy theory and doesn't exist. But if you champion the Great Reset as a good thing, suddenly it does exist, and it's the best thing ever.
You see that? So that's how you know that this thing is a plan that Esau's got to basically take over, man. More so than he already has. Now this guy is in rulership, but because he's an unrighteous ruler, all right, he's constantly having to ward off threats. Constantly. Because if he was a righteous ruler, this kingdom would be like it was in the time of Solomon. All right, what happened when Solomon was in rulership, man? You know, all of the other nations were in subjection to him, and he didn't have to go to war with them. You know, King David had to put him in check, but ultimately, once King David set everything up, man, and Solomon had the wisdom, we ruled in peace, man. For 40 years, that was just pure peace. But see, if this guy was a righteous ruler in that way, he wouldn't be perpetually at war, perpetually worrying about somebody invading him, attacking them. He wouldn't be constantly attacking other people. But that's how you know that this guy is done, man. This is Job 5:12. It says he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that his hands cannot perform their enterprise. Now, enterprise is like basically a major endeavor. It says wisdom, sound knowledge, success, sound or efficient wisdom, abiding success. So this is the the Hebrew word taishaya. You see. I'll read it again. This is he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right. And that word does kind of go into wisdom, but it says he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. All right. So this is craft, man. This is a crafty individual that we're dealing with, but the Lord has already spoken that he's not going to win. All right. And that's the hope that the elect have, that we're not going to be casualties of this psychopath Esau, man. All right.
Letters have been made public after a Freedom of Information Act request in the Netherlands, sent to members of the Dutch government by the World Economic Forum, inviting them to last year's Davos. The letters state the discussions will focus.
Now I can't read this part because of what's written in it, but I'll skip forward ahead a little bit. Certain words are in there, that the YouTube doesn't like. I had to watch this video beforehand.
That's a lot of great resets for it to just be, as the New York Times claimed, a baseless conspiracy theory. As soon as the topic started trending, Twitter panicked and called in the fact checkers. Trending in the United Kingdom, Great Reset. The Great Reset is a sustainability plan pitched in response to the pandemic by the World Economic Forum.
You see that?
To reduce inequality and to revamp all aspects of global societies and economies, from education, climate policies to social contracts and working conditions, according to Reuters and BBC.
You see that? Twitter immediately jumped on it when it started trending because they know what they're doing, man. They know this thing is over with. 2022 is about to be lit, man. I'm telling you. That he knows, because he knows people are going to look at that and go, that's bullshit. See, people are not in a deep enough sleep yet. And he's gonna do something crazy, man. I believe this coming year 2022, he's gonna do something because people are still too sensitive to it. All right. Now I don't know what's gonna happen per se, but I believe something major is gonna happen to distract the people again. This is Psalms 21:11. It says, "For they intended evil against thee; they imagined a mischievous device which they are not able to perform." All right. So we knew this. we know, man. But the Lord is not going to suffer his elect to suffer these things. It says, "Therefore shalt thou make them turn their back when thou shalt make ready thine arrows upon thy strings against the face of them." What is that talking about? It's talking about this time that we're in, man. It's talking about thermonuclear missiles coming on this place. It says, "But thou exalted, Lord Jehovah, in thine own strength, so we will sing and praise thy power." And that's the elect. We're going to do those things. Because look at them panicking, man.
Now doth protest too much. Yeah, a few things they missed there. The very architect of the Great Reset, Klaus Schwab, of the World Economic Forum, has called for risk assessment brain scans before you're allowed to travel. Implantable.
Now, you just have to read. I cut it off just in time. Call Hello Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Before he said something, but you can kind of read it on the screen. All right. So we know where this is going, man. The elect are not gonna be fooled. The elect are not gonna be fooled. I'm gonna get that real quick, if it were possible. I believe that's Matthew. Yeah, Matthew 24 and 24. It says, then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is a Mashiach, or there, believe it not, for there shall arise false Hamashiachs. And these guys are basically want to be the Messiah. They want to be our prophets. You know, they want to be our leaders. All right. Now you got the Catholic Church that's going to be full steam ahead on this. It says, and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders. All right, because that's what this thing is going to be, the metaverse. That's a great sign and wonder, man. That's all part of this thing. Blockchain technology, these cryptocurrencies, that's all a great sign and wonder, man. Satellites in outer space and different weapons that they have. It says, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Key word there, if it were possible. But see, we're not going to be fooled. We've seen this a mile away coming. All right. And Esau's mad, and that's why they have to shut us down. All right. It says, I'm not even going to read this. You brothers can read this. You know, you can pause the screen and read that. Let me see.
Agenda encapsulated by the Great Reset, which is based around dismantling the current capitalist system in favor of a greater centralized technocratic control.
What does that mean? The greater centralized technocratic control, man. When you read Revelation 13 and 16, it's all clear, man. It's all clear. If you can't see it, man, you need to pray, because this thing is basically upon us. 2022 is the year of this of prophecy, basically. You know, major prophecy of the final prophecies finally culminating. All right, brothers can see it so clearly now. It's ridiculous. You know, there's no time to get weak, to get slack, to get lazy. All right. It's a time for fasting and praying, man, and hoping that the Lord comes sooner and that he has mercy on us, man. All right. Last precept, Psalms 33 and 10, it says, the Lord Jehovah bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. All right. Now, why is all of this written? Bringing the counsel to none effect. They imagine the mischievous device they are not able to perform. You know, their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Why? Because the Lord knew that Esau would be scheming in these last days, man. All right. He would be scheming. And this is why the Lord sent watchmen, man, because the average Jake don't even care about this, man, let alone he can break it down. You know, he's not going to warn you in sincerity to save your life, as it's written in Ezekiel 3, man. All right. So we're doing what we got to do, man. We're praying that we get out of here, man. So I'll end it there. You brothers can watch this video. It's only like 3.5 minutes. Hopefully, y'all brothers were edified. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachak Wadash Wa Abba Babal Shalom.